And it gets worse. This is not a bone. OMG hi, and welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful, crisp, clear fall day. Of course, we're in Canada. There's like 8 months of winter right around the corner. But the temperature is just starting to heat up on this channel. We're continuing the march to 69 subs by this weekend, so if you have not had a chance to go ahead and issue that subscription, please do so. Of course, as well, your likes and your comments help get the YouTube algorithm to pump our content out to more people. Thank you very much for everybody who has issued their support so far. I am fully recovered from my man cold. So even though isolation's no longer in the cards for this weekend, we are gonna continue to find out which of the Hungry Mans is the best in the business. We have 3 more on tap today. If you haven't yet watched part 1 of this series, do make it a point to get caught up before we get too deep in the weeds. You don't wanna fall behind. So why waste any more time? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's grab us some Hungry Man. Man, oh man, the sun just suddenly came out, and this is almost feeling like t-shirt weather in mid-October. That's kind of cool. So if you need a quick reminder on how this works, we're giving 10 points for a main course, 10 points for side dishes, 5 points for the dessert, and 5 points for how closely it resembles the actual box. And this one we are starting with is the Hungry Man crispy fried coated chicken cutlets with hearty mashed potatoes, sweet corn, and a brownie. There's really not a lot to cover in terms of the box art. They're promising a crispy fried chicken, which is a heck of a promise when it comes out of a microwave. That's one of those things, I'll believe it when I see it. In fact, why don't we go ahead and see it now? I gotta say that, like their popcorn chicken, they pretty much have this down to a T. Looks about as spot on as you're gonna get out of a frozen dinner. This gets an easy 5 out of 5. I do have some concerns about this one chicken cutlet. It's dangerously white in contrast to the other ones. I'm not sure this one saw the inside of the deep fryer quite as long as these two did. I'm gonna start with one of the darker ones. Yeah, there's no crispiness on there whatsoever. It's important to keep your expectations low, then you can't be disappointed. Unlike the jumbo popcorn chicken, which I found to be very well seasoned with a lot of black pepper and maybe some other stuff, I think this is just a flour base and nothing else going on. That's incredibly bland. I'm gonna try the dangerously white one to see if there's any difference. Thought maybe they'd slid some fish in here or something, but no, it's the same chicken cutlet, just not as well fried. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. All right, these were called hearty mashed potatoes and not creamy mashed potatoes. So maybe these are different from the other crappy mashed potatoes I've had to this point. Maybe it's because I'm not sick anymore, but these actually don't taste as bad as the previous mashed potatoes. Maybe the mucus and congestion were causing them to be even worse than usual. There's still a lot less authenticity in here than a politician, but they're not awful. Please don't be that same corn. Please do not be that same corn. That's that same corn. I've been thinking about this corn. I'm near certain this was harvested from another planet. Maybe we have found a new sustainable source of food. Rather than condemning Swansons, we should be praising them. Until they confirm that fact, these are still fairly terrible sides, and we are going to stick with a 2 out of 10. And finally, we've got our brownie. Yeah, that's that same nothing brownie. Pretty sure I gave it a 1 last time, and I'm gonna give it a 1 again. That gives the fried chicken dinner a 12 out of 30, putting it in 3rd place so far. Of course, I'd never leave you without our customer feedback, and we're gonna start with Jason Wu, who writes, misleading picture / false advertising. I bought this at Key Food Brooklyn. I was about to buy something else, but saw this for sale for $3.99. I bought it, it tastes horrible. The mashed potatoes tasted like sand, no flavor, in water with no flavor. It was deplorable. It tasted 5x worse than a regular small potato. The corn tasted okay, not good because it wasn't sweet. The brownie was good, but gave a small portion of it. It was even smaller than the potatoes themselves. The fried chicken is nothing like it in the picture. The color is light brown. Only one fried chicken had half a skin that's fried. The other chickens had soggy, half non-fried skin. one half fried skin chicken. The other two had two soggy 30% to 50% skin. The other half below, both of the chickens had no skin. No human being should buy this, even the brand. This company should be shut down and sued for their misleading advertising. Don't mess with Jason Wu's skin. He is a man who cares deeply about skin. He drinks lots of Skinny Girl. He eats Skinny Cow. He subscribes to Skinamax. This is a man who knows his skin. On the other hand, Rick Grimes gives this 5 stars and writes, "Great for a TV dinner." Why on earth would a former chef rate a frozen dinner 5 stars? Because this chicken is tasty. It's frozen and pre-cooked, not fresh, aka only refrigerated from raw chickens, like that used in expensive restaurants and even some cheaper joints. If the chicken is still on the bone, it's probably fresh at the big chains. Otherwise, it's frozen and pre-cooked. Nonetheless, even leftover fried chicken can be delicious if the recipe is good, as is the case with this Swanson product. The brownie is yummy as well, but you'll have to bury the taters and corn in butter to make them edible. Naturally, you'll want to purchase the most recently made product. Be sure to learn how to decipher Swanson's date of manufacture code. When buying from Amazon, freshness should not be an issue. Rick, if you're a former chef and you're rating this 5 stars, I suspect one of two things is at play. The first is you're either a former chef turned Swanson social media shill, or two, you were a former chef at Burger King, the only food that is lower grade than the Hungry Man. Finally, Douglas A. Crutchin gives this 1 star and writes, 1 star. Real small chicken portions, sometimes different parts are found on the brownie or corn, no quality control. I didn't share Douglas's experience, everything stayed where it was supposed to. But given how my turkey dinner went, I can see where that would be a problem. All right, let's see what's cooking for dinner number 5. The second Hungry Man meal that we're looking at today, and 5th overall, is the Hungry Man grilled chicken cutlet, barbecue sauce and seasoned rib-shaped pork, 13.5% meat protein with mashed potatoes, corn, and a brownie. That is a mouthful. So as usual, we've got the same boring sides and same boring dessert that we always look at, but the real game changer may be the fact that there are 2 different pieces of meat in here, one of which is their chicken cutlet, the other being the rib patty. In terms of the picture, it basically looks like a McRib. When it comes out tasting like a McRib, I'm not going to be complaining. All right, let's see how they compare. Well, now that is a colossally messy disappointment. These things are just drowning in barbecue sauce. It smells very sweet and vinegary, kind of ketchup-y as well. I won't write it off until I try it though. And now look at that. What the hell, Hungry Man? Why is your space corn lodging itself inside my asteroid brownie? I did discuss the possibility that this was cornbread in my last video, so maybe I'm not wrong. All right, the sides look about right. The main course looks awful. 2.5 out of 5. All right, I'm gonna start with what I assume is the rib patty. We've had lots of chicken. We haven't had any rib meat yet. Texturally, it's like a McRib. Flavor-wise, that's for the dogs, man. I don't know where they get their barbecue sauce from, but they need to stop. Like, just go saddle up to a Kraft executive, use that. And they sell them for like $1.99 a bottle. You guys can certainly get it at wholesale, come on. This is not a chicken breast though, or if it was, it's been disfigured so much, it's a sponge. Look, it doesn't really break when you squeeze it. It doesn't do any sort of like chicken-like strands. I'm thinking a bunch of Greek grifters sold them a whole lot of sponges and they had no other way to get rid of them. Backyard barbecue tip, if you need this much sauce on your meat, you're hiding something. That's a 1 out of 10. I'd eat that out of desperation. I suspect we know exactly what these are. No reason to assume any different. And from another bin here, done that. The texture really bothers me. And let's get a brownie piece with the corn in it. Just see if it improves it. No, now it's got a weird slimy chew in there. 1, 1, 1. Setting a new low bar of 5.5 points. I'm gonna be straight floored if anybody actually liked this one. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Brian J. Fitzpatrick gives this 5 stars and writes, "You get a lot of meat in this one." No, you don't. there's no meat to be seen. This is one of the better Hungry Man TV dinners to get. You get pork and chicken plus mashed potatoes and corn with a brownie. All you need is a piece of garlic toast to make it a complete meal. Amazon, a better price than my local grocery store too. Definitely will be buying more. 3 people found this helpful. I wish I could flag this as spam. And to be honest, spam would be closer to real meat than this. God, Brian, where's your standards? And it gets worse. Ketsi Nelson gives this 5 stars and writes, I loved barbecue spar ribs the only way I can find it with Hungry Man. Love it and always get it when it's in stock. 1 person found this helpful. This is not a spar rib, it's not a spare rib. Ribs have never been part of this equation. This is not a bone. This is meat just sticking out. Customer reviews shouldn't be making me angry, but I'm not happy. Am I the crazy one? Valeria gives this 4 stars and writes, large amount compared to other frozen meals. Only complaint is that the meat doesn't need so much gravy, and I wish they had a fish meal. Frozen brownie is a nice addition. 1 person found this helpful. What are these people rating? I feel like I'm living in Bizarro World and this is their corn. All right, we got 1 more meal to get through. Hopefully it will not contain any chicken or corn, but don't hold your breath. Our last chance to salvage this afternoon comes from Hungry Man's seasoned beer battered chicken strips, 11.5% meat protein, chopped and formed, with hearty mashed potatoes, mixed vegetables, and a brownie. And man, oh man, if you like sodium, this has it. Got 1,690 milligrams in a single box of this stuff. I'm guessing this isn't gonna cause me a lot of long-term harm. I'm only eating the 1 and I've already got low blood pressure. But if you're on the high end, you might wanna stay away from these guys. All right, so this is our last chance for a satisfying meal this afternoon. So far, everything we've had has been grossly underwhelming. Grossly underwhelming used to be my online dating name. These have a standard light beer batter on them, more along the lines of the kind of batter that you would see on fish and chips. Of course, we'd be nothing without the mashed potatoes and brownie, but we have replaced the corn with corn and other stuff. How does it actually compare to what we got out of the microwave? So other than the 1 runaway green bean and the fact that these brownies have these spongy bubble spots all over them that don't resemble at all the nice baked up normal thing that's on the package, the chicken does continue to match pretty much what's on the box. So rule of thumb, anything that clucks, the curtains match the drapes. Box art, chicken's always on point, 5 out of 5. Well, unlike the last thing that we had slathered in barbecue sauce, this meat patty appears to be put back together a little bit more naturally. It's seriously slimy on the bottom though. That's no good. It's flavorless. It's so nondescript that you could tell me these are fish sticks and I'd buy it. If you hadn't written chicken on the box, I don't think I could tell you what the meat was in the middle. I know it's not beef. 2 out of 10. I have said all I need to say where the potatoes are concerned. The corn is still weird, the green beans are still strange, and the carrots seem to be punctuated by a super carroty flavor. Like most carrots are cubic zirconia, these are 24 karat carrots. It's an amped up super carrot. Texture issues aside, mixing all 3 of these vegetables together is actually a welcome addition. I'm gonna give these side dishes a 5 out of 10. And it could just be a case where my expectations are so bottom of the barrel at this point, just getting anything different is a blessing. I, of course, expect nothing different out of this brownie. This one managed to get even more overcooked than most of the brownies I eat. I'm gonna go 0 out of 5 on this brownie, only because they're normally already bad. But I cooked these per the instructions on the box, and it somehow made it worse. So while 12 out of 30 in normal everyday life sounds like a terrible score, it's still good enough to be middle of the pack on this journey so far. Let's go to the customer reviews, and I genuinely have no idea what to expect. We're gonna give the first word to Andrew Zervis, who gives this 1 star and writes, was melted and refrozen. And he writes, was melted and refrozen. This man is so concise, he can give his thoughts in 8 words and still manage to get everything out twice. Cat Lover gives this 1 star and writes, chicken is watery with no taste. I'm getting some heartburn, my God. I've also got no gallbladder, so I'm terrified with what's to come. All right, she writes, the chicken is not crispy, It does not look or taste like there's batter on it. The chicken is watery. The small portion of vegetables are like the cut up cheap ones in the bulk bags at the grocery store. Tuna mashed potatoes are fine. I wish there was more than a couple of spoonfuls. I have had better microwave chicken dinners. Finally, Diane gives it 1 star and writes, really bad. I didn't expect it to be anything great, but I didn't think it would be this bad. This tasted a lot like a school cafeteria meal. The chicken was soggy and rubbery and had no taste. The vegetables were chewy and tasted freezer burned. The brownie was chalky and tasted like cardboard. Mashed potatoes, however, were not bad. I ate the mashed potatoes and tried to give the rest to my dogs who would not touch it. You know it's bad when a dog won't eat it. One person found this helpful. You know the bar has been set really low when somebody is saying that the mashed potatoes were the best part of this dish. You know, I remember when Hungry Man came out, I want to say about 20 years ago, and compared to microwave dinners at the time, these things were considered the bee's knees, the gold standard of the frozen dinner. I just don't know if it's a case that the quality's gone up, so our standards have increased, or if Swanson's just cut back and these have gotten worse. But we are not doing so hot. We've only got 3 dinners left to find out where our ultimate Thanksgiving meal lands. I want to thank you for joining me once again on this journey. We're going to wrap everything up on Friday and determine which of these makes the ultimate of Thanksgiving meals. Of course, please don't forget to comment down below with which Hungry Man you think is the best. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. It always helps me in terms of getting my content out there, and I will catch you on the next one.